final result aside, how encouraged are you by what you saw from your players, that kind of fight and desire?
Yeah, it was there in abundance. You know, the mistakes you can't legislate for. That's the level that we work at. That's what everybody outside, probably the top 2 and 3, that deal with. Sometimes who makes the less mistakes wins football matches. I'm not kidding myself. We need to turn our form around and turn our results around. Sorry, rather than form. The Hibs game, large parts of the St Johnstone game, the St Mirren game. Large parts of the Rangers game defensively were very, very good. So we just need to try and put that complete performance together and hope that the football gods are shining on you a little bit more than what they have been recently.
Is this a good period for you then, because there are so many games in a close space of time?
Yeah, look, we're confident. I've got a lot of belief in what I do and what the staff do. I've got belief in the players, and at some stages you have to hold your hands up and go, some signings haven't worked. And you go, okay, we'll try and rectify that, which we do every year. That's, again, the level of player we're bringing in. You some work, some don't work. Everyone will tell you the same, no matter how much money you spend. And you have to go, okay, it's Christmas now. Some people might not have quite done what we expected, and we need to either get more from them or change that.
Have you got them players who maybe are playing for their futures in the next few weeks?
Everybody's playing for their future. Every game you go out, you're playing for your future, whether it's to stay in the team, to get a move, to just play well for Motherwell and win football matches. Everyone's playing for their future every time they go out. But what I do is, the vast majority of people here I think are very good players. I think they're all very good players. Some are playing better than others. Confidence when you win games goes up, and I won't hide the fact that we need a couple of results. But the performances have been okay. Everyone's clouded by the result all the time, and we're in a results-based industry. That's blatantly obvious. But there's a lot of good things. There's a lot of good boys. There's a lot of good play. And I'm confident that we will get results. And whether that's a little injection like we've always done in January, we bring a player in, 2 players in that lifts everybody, because it does. New players spark everybody. Acknowledging that some things haven't quite worked the way you want it to work for everybody, for the player, for us. And you change it. You can't keep making the same mistake over and over again. You have to try and change that, and we will do.
You got players maybe in mind to bring in January? Would it have to be one out, one in if you were to bring?
Yeah, I have. I've got one quite far down the line. We're braced if anybody comes in for our players as well. January is a difficult transfer window, but we've been relatively successful. We've brought Boli Arabian in that time. We've brought Rolando Aarons in that time. And sometimes one signing just sparks you, and it sparks the other players who people have criticised and maybe think aren't at the top of their game. But sometimes just one signing sparks everybody. Sparks the staff, sparks absolutely everybody. So we're working on that, and we're prepared for all eventualities, which when you're manager of Motherwell can happen.
Is January going to be more difficult this year given the circumstances we'll find ourselves in?
I think the problem we have in England when we speak to players is they don't really want to come up at the moment because they're going to be stuck in a hotel if they're open, or a flat on their own. They go home from training, they don't see anybody. So yeah, it is a little bit more difficult. The same, we're bringing boys from abroad, which is not something we often do. But yeah, it's a hard window. I'm sure everybody will say exactly the same. We're finding it difficult to attract people to come in the circumstances. It's hard enough at the best of times, but this is making it hard.
Just on the game tomorrow, and you've had fairly decent run of form against Aberdeen this year. We hope to continue them.
Yeah, of course. Listen, I don't hide away from the fact that we're desperate to take a scrappy win instead of what we done against Hibs and St Mirren, where we played well, created lots and didn't win. I'll take a nice scrappy win, and it just boosts you, change the narrative that people put out there, and then go into this run of games. We know we can beat Aberdeen. They're in a good run of form. They're a good side. I have a lot of respect for Derek and the way he does things, but ultimately we've beat them before, and absolutely no reason why we can't start a run tomorrow.
The league is so tight. I think we've got 4 points between 5th and 11th. It just highlights the importance of getting results, especially against teams around you in the league.
Definitely, you look a few weeks ago, and Hamilton hadn't won any games now. They won 3 out of 5. Livy were struggling. They won 4 out of 4. St Mirren, I went to watch 8-9 weeks ago, and they hadn't won for a long time, and now they're on a good run. So this is this league. That's the level that the people go on runs. You know, we've had a bad run and we've had a good run. We're in a bad run again. And that's just what it is. What you have to do is stick to your beliefs. I'm not going to change my beliefs. We still want to play football. We have to modify things, obviously, to get better results. But we won't go away from our beliefs. We won't go away from developing young players. And we'll keep and continue doing what we're doing and keep believing. And I have no doubt at all we will turn it around.